Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Thursday. I hope it finds you well out there. So many things to talk about today. We had jobless claims today. We had GDP today. We had housing contracts, what they call pending home sales. We had a judge say, hey, you can't just use executive orders and emergency measures on tariffs. Well, apparently, nobody cares. Yeah, nope. At least Goldman Sachs saying, hey, don't worry about that judge saying that, you can't put these tariffs on. They're going to be able to sidestep it or what have you. So I don't know. I truly don't know what it's going to be, but apparently they could use other things to do it with, and I will just say that none of this matters. I wish it did. Wouldn't it be great if these tariffs actually mattered? And what I mean by that, listen, it matters, but it doesn't matter because of what's coming. I don't want to tell you about it. The Fed continues now to secretly be buying back bonds, right? Quantitative easing. They just don't want to admit it. I guess I'll have to wait, right? I guess after like a couple of weeks they may have to come clean. But, you know how they always say, oh, it's just temporary. Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm going to give you our number. I hope you're really smart and call. Get more gold and silver put away. Get prepared for what's coming. Digital money is coming. If you want to cry and moan, you can. And yup, it's going to suck in a lot of ways. But you can either get on board or be left behind. That's it. That's all there is. Right? This is what we do. Right? I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, you better have your portfolio in order. You better have it. You're going to need it. We keep talking about how being diversified is so critical right now. I mean, think about it. The last, 10,000, 15,000 points on the Dow, right? It was the Mag's 7, and now Tesla's kind of fallen off, but very few of the companies are really doing that well. Very few. And now it really looks like housing may be turning here. We'll see. Prices are finally starting to fall. Jobless claims spiked up this week. I don't know. It's too early to tell. I'll go through all the numbers with you here in a minute. But you really do need to be so much more diversified than you think. Because the issue that we're talking about, this isn't, Bernie Madoff or Lehman Brothers is going under. That was bad. That was horrific. Right? You had liar loans and stuff like that, right? This is so much bigger. What did we learn in the last week? Japan is done. All done. The yen carry trade, you guys have heard of it. It's over. It has to unwind. The ramifications will spread globally. You know, I told you yesterday about the troubles with the Japanese insurers. What do you think is going to happen here? What, do you think we're different? I mean, we're different in this regard. We both have printing presses. Of course, we have, you know, what we like to call the global reserve currency. But that's been under attack now for what, 20 plus years now? And now you have major financial institutions. Listen, I'm not talking about me or, I don't know, Peter Schiff, Gerald Salente, who are some of the others out there. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about doom and gloomers. I'm talking about Jamie Dimon over at J.P. Morgan. Fraser, the lady that's in charge of Citi, Moynihan at Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, right? They're all saying it out loud. What are they saying? The unthinkable is happening, which is the world has lost confidence in the U.S. Treasury market. That's what's happening. I know you don't want to admit it. I don't want to admit it. I was hoping I'd be dead by the time that happened. It's not. 800-951-0592. Our toll-free number. I hope you call it today. 800-951-0592. AllAmericanGold.com is the website. Where do we want to start? How about, I guess, let's start with jobless claims. 240,000. That's the second highest reading of the year. I would say that let's see what happens. Are we going to stay? Remember, we got to 243,000 like 5 weeks ago, and then it came right back down. So we'll see continuing claims, 1.92 million. That is the highest since November 2021. So a little concerning. Not ready yet to say, okay, are we actually going to see job losses? We'll keep our eye on it. Not what you want to see. Now, all the people that want the Fed to cut rates, right? Hey, that's good. That's a good one, right? And of course, they probably would love to see, I don't know, 275, 300. Then we had first quarter GDP. Now, of course, that's well over. So it's an old number. Shrank 0.2% at the reading that came in, negative 0.2%. The GDP was revised up by a tenth. So remember, it was 0.3 down. They revised it to 0.2 down. Here's the thing that was, I guess, a little unsettling here, because a lot of this was tariffs. Okay, so everyone was trying to beat the tariffs. I'm not going to get too excited. A negative number is never very good. They did upwardly revise investments, but they downwardly revised consumer spending. So that was the one that they're saying was maybe a little bit concerning. And again, I'm not gonna freak out about that one either. But it was slowdown in consumer spending, obviously beating the tariffs. But it was this number that has me a little worried. This is pending U.S. home sales. This is people signing contracts to actually buy a home. down 6.3% from March to April. I'll be honest with you, it's not supposed to be that way, right? Obviously, March kind of picks up, but it's April, May, June where it's supposed to, the spring selling season. By the way, all 4 regions were significantly lower. It brings pending home sales all the way back down to the record lows. The West had the biggest drop, down almost 9%. And according to the housing economist Lawrence Young, he said it's all about mortgage rates. Despite an increase in inventory, we're not seeing higher home sales. Lower mortgage rates will be essential to bringing people back to the housing market. And I'll just say this. It's not true. It's not essential. It would help. Because you remember, there's another thing you can do. You may not want to do it, right? But there's other things you can lower the price. I know. We'll see. I hope you're paying attention. A quick look here at the markets. The Dow, very quiet today. The Dow's down 20 points. The S&P's up 20. The Nasdaq's up 100. NVIDIA, they're not happy. Big hit to their margin. They had to pay an extra $2.5 billion for their dealing in China, and they're going to have to continue to pay it. But still plenty of buying there. Just, when you have a 75% margin and then you got to pay an extra $2.5 billion, it brings it to 60, right? So 60% margin, most of us would love a 60% margin, but yeah, not the greatest thing in the world. The 10-year note today, it was back above 4.5, and then all the data came out. 4.45. We'll take it. It won't stay there. Japan yields still heading higher. Gold's up just under $30 right now, 33.17 on gold. Silver's up 27 cents, 33.25. Palladium is up 10. Platinum is flat at 1,079 right now. And again, I'm just going to highlight most of the stuff I just talked doesn't matter. It's all about the bond market. How much trouble are we really in? That's the thing we don't know because they won't tell us. When I look at the auctions, we've had some good auctions and some really bad ones, right? There doesn't seem to be a lot in between. The shorter dates this week have done pretty well, right? People are willing, 2 years, I'm willing to buy that. 3 years, I'll buy it. But when it gets to the 10, the 20, the 30 year, they're like, yeah, no. You're going to have to pay me a lot more to do it. And you got to remember, the big, beautiful bill, this thing is going to cost a fortune. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad plan. Well, actually, I am. It is a bad plan. It's a terrible plan. But more terrible than anything else. The hope, here's their hope. They know that the debt is going to go up now, I don't know, about $500 billion, give or take, something like that. Right? So we'll be edging right near, $2.5 to $3 trillion, somewhere in that range. And on top of that, because, now think about, I'll use Japan as an example. Japan's like, gosh, we can't sell this long stuff. Nobody will buy it. Let's just sell more short stuff. Well, that's what we did, right? And I'll tell you this. I'm very happy that Scott Bassett is here as the Treasury Secretary because I think he's better than Janet Yellen. But I want you to know, she screwed us. She screwed us. Do you understand what I'm saying? And why I'm saying it? Remember when rates were so, remember all of you out there, if you got a 3% mortgage, 4% mortgage, that was Janet Yellen. And you go, well, she didn't screw me. Right? I locked in. She didn't screw me. It was great. Right? I bought a way overpriced home, but I could afford the payment because, well, the mortgage rate was 3%, 4%. Well, we're going to pay the price for that now. How did she do it? How did she get it? So you're like, well, come on, Joe, the Fed took it to zero. Took rates to zero. Yeah, but that didn't do it. See, 5%, let's say, that wasn't good enough for her. So she decided, well, rates were really cheap. Remember, borrowing was practically free. Go big, she said. Well, we did. Boy, did we go big. And instead of selling that debt 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, she loaded up on short-term debt. Why? Well, interest rates would have went higher if she had sold more 10-year notes at auctions every week. Hey, I'll just sell more 2-year, and then the 10-year. Remember the inverted yield curve? Remember we talked about this? That's bad economics. It's bad economics. You guys have no idea. I can tell you have no idea. You have no idea what's coming. The amount of debt that we have now are being forced to roll over every year. It's insanity. And now we're going to add another $3 trillion on top of it? And this is the problem. The $3 trillion, okay, maybe we could have done it. But because of what Janet Yellen decided to do, all of those years ago, you know what? You didn't get a vote. I didn't get a vote. So much more debt is coming due. I'm guaranteed there's going to be another crisis. And it's going to be, I look at Greece, and that's just child's play. The financial crisis, this will be different. This is going to be a lot more painful. And what I mean by that is there's going to be very few places that you're going to be able to hide from the carnage. Because it's coming. And then you start thinking about, well, what's our plan for the carnage? Well, we got to grow. What does growth really mean? Print more money. That's what it means. But isn't the problem we've already printed too much money? Yes. Yep. So what you're saying is I should just keep digging. Matter of fact, you want me to double down on the digging, right? Remember the definition of insanity? right? Well, I don't know if it's the definition of insanity, but it's right up there. It's one, right? It's one of them. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do this. And then you're like, well, that didn't work. What should we do now? Well, let's do the same thing again. Oh, okay. It still didn't work. What should I do now? I got an idea. Let's do the same thing again. Oh, okay. It doesn't work. Still not working. I got a better idea. Oh, great. We're going to do something different? No. We're going to do the same thing, but now I want you to do it faster. See, that was the problem. We just didn't do it fast enough. Oh, okay. So we started doing it faster. Did it work? No. Oh, what should we do now? Well, I know. Let's do the same thing, but even faster. That's our plan. That's the plan. And they're hoping, well, gosh, if we just go fast enough, we can outrun this thing. But isn't what we're trying to run the thing that you're telling us to do faster? Yes! 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour here on this Thursday. We also did hear from Best Buy today. Lowering guidance, a lot of lowering of guidance and tariff issues. Florida, get ready, have now approved using silver and gold for transactions in Florida. They are the first state, at least the first large state, to get this done. You're seeing more and more states passing legislation like this. They also authorized money service business, check cashing places, PayPal, and others to accept gold and silver as payments. And why do I bring it up? Because this is what's coming. We're not paying dollars anymore. It's going away. Are you going to be left behind? $20 gold pieces. Last day, $34.95, 10 or more, $34.75. I mean, gold's $33.20 and just waiting for an excuse to be $4,000. Silver. I got some stuff for a little house cleaning today. I got 10 rolls of silver rounds, $700. $700. I've got 41-ounce silver bars, $35. You're not getting these prices anywhere. You get them here. Then judging by the phone line, you haven't figured it out. You really don't know. So this is your warning. I'm not going to yell, and I'm not going to scream. I want to. God, I want to. But I'm not going to. You need to hear this. It's done. It's already happened. We're not going back. We're going to have a bond market crisis, period. Of course, I already told you that. I told you we'd have quantitative easing before 2025 ever let out. And we already have it. They just haven't admitted it yet. But believe me, much worse is coming. Much, much worse. 800-951-0592. And I told you guys I was in Vegas. They have the big show, all the crypto and so much. And of course, I've been harping on you to take a shot with us with Texit. Of course, I've been telling you that I think this is the right idea for America. It's what I believe. Because this is done. Dollar's done. Banks are done. Listen, we're not going to have 4,000 banks. Maybe 100 when it's all said and done. I don't know. I mean, will Visa and MasterCard go away? Maybe. Yeah. It's crazy. You know, we're I say we. But when you look at where Texas is right now, right, we're building out the mining, and it's controlled, right? We don't let foreigners, we don't let big banks. You only can invest up to $9,000, really $8,955. But here's something I didn't know, and I'm learning very fast. So, Bitcoin had a big event in Las Vegas yesterday. And they had Block, it's a credit card processing utility, say, yes, we're going to take Bitcoin. Sounded great. Here's the thing of why I think Texas is going to be such a strong play. Speed. And on top of that, low cost. Believe it or not, Bitcoin's pretty slow. And what I mean by that is, hey, you're doing billion-dollar transactions, Bitcoin's great. It's great. But you're paying for something at the food truck. You're at Walmart. I promise you this, Walmart will not take Bitcoin at the checkouts. They won't. Why? Why wouldn't it? It's too slow. You know, at least when you use like your credit card or your debit card, it's reasonably fast. Matter of fact, look how fast it's gotten. Right? You go to McDonald's, boom, tap the card, boom, next window. Bitcoin doesn't go fast enough. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 5 minutes. Plus, it's expensive. For digital money, it's expensive. Texas, it's built for this. It'll go faster than your debit cards, your credit cards, faster than cash. It's actually set up for everyday common purchases. Listen, Bitcoin's not set up for that. I don't think it ever wanted to be that, honestly. But that's not what it's set up for. This is a huge opportunity. I believe it wholeheartedly. Remember, you've got till tomorrow, because we don't work on the weekend, for the best promotions that they have. You buy a 3-pack, you buy 3 mining shares, I'll give you a 4th for free. It's $2,985. You can buy 1 mining share, it's $995. Think about it this way, each mining share is $995. And you only can buy 9, that's the most. Well, if you buy 3, they'll give you a 4th for free. You buy 6, they'll give you 2 for free, right? So they'll give you 7 and 8 for free. If you buy 9, which is the maximum, they'll give you 3 more mining shares for free. How do I get more mining shares? By telling other people and getting them to sign up. Why do they want to do that? Why are they doing it then? Why wouldn't they just let me buy more? Well, simple. When this is done and built, they truly want it to be decentralized with hundreds of thousands of miners. That's the whole point. Plus the fact it only can be mined here in the U.S. That's a huge win. I think a lot of companies aren't allowed to do business with people that aren't all in the U.S. 800-951-0592. Maybe you're going to do $100,000. If I was you, I'd do 91 and put the rest into Texit. Buy $20 gold, $34.95, 10 or more, $34.75. It's an absolute steal. I have a very limited amount of silver rounds at $700, right? That's $35. With gold's like 33 and a quarter. Silver's 33 and a quarter. Come on. You got 41-ounce silver bars at $35 at 800-951-0592. Now, you've seen the Trump administration talking about crypto. Why do you think that is? Because they already know. It took me a while. It was slow. I admit it. I didn't want to believe that it could happen this fast. But we're here. Listen, we're supposed to be the world's reserve currency, yet we have no budget. None. At all. I mean, by the time it gets done, the year's going to we'll have almost got a whole year without one. And then our plan, this is the plan. We're going to print even more debt and hope we grow out of it. Do you know how expensive things will have to get to grow out of it? It's hard. Look at housing. Housing can't grow anymore. Housing, done. It's done. You're going to cut the price? I don't know what else to do. How are rates going to go down? They're not going down. Well, Joe, how do you know? You don't know. You're right, I don't know. But Jeff Gundlach's the guy they call the bond king. He says it. And then he says, hey, it's not just me. Everybody that's in the bond market says the same thing. Are you going to be left behind? I don't know. You better know how to use it. That's all I'm going to tell you. You better learn. It's going to be something where, it's a layer one crypto right now. What does that mean? I don't know what that meant. Really simple. That means right now, this is early on. There's people like me, like my wife, like my family, like you, that think this is something that could take off. And they're willing to put money into it. And it trades on the exchanges. Because people believe in the concept of something lightning fast, super efficient, very low fee based, practical. This is a digital currency that is designed in principle for smaller purchases, like going to the store. That's not what Bitcoin's designed for. It's not. It's designed for big stuff. The next phase, the second phase, is will people start using it? And here's the thing. They've got this thing mapped out to where they say it's going to be $16 February of next year. That's phase one. Right? By that time, they're very confident phase one will be over. And it goes into phase two. Where it goes from there will depend on phase two. And that's kind of the funny part. Because I was like, well, the one thing, the one selling point you had was, hey, it's all mined here in the U.S. It's not controlled by China. It's not controlled by banks. It's all mined here in the U.S. Companies that have government contracts, state contracts, right? A lot of them have rules about, hey, you got to use U.S. this and U.S. that. hey, we could have a niche here. That's what I thought the win was. And how did I find this out? I had one of our regulars yesterday asked, and this was the answer I gave him. And then I went out to my buddies and said, hey, guys, this guy asked this. This was my answer. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, of course that's part. He goes, they're like, Joe, that's the small part. Here's why we think this thing really has legs. Anybody can take it. And what they meant by that was, hey, there's a lot of times with Bitcoin, especially when the network's busy. I don't know, it takes, hey, you want to wait 5 minutes for someone's, well, God, I'm waiting. You know how annoying it is when you're using your credit card and you got to wait like 30 seconds? And you're like, what's going on, right? Could you imagine having to wait 5 minutes? Yeah, that's not going to happen. This ends that. And it's so much less expensive. The fees, like, think about this. You use a credit card with me. You guys know it's 3%. And you should see some of them are so much more. Oh, the more points you get, the more it costs. Now think about it. Hey, how about a couple of cents? Would you be interested in that? Would you want to take that? Heck yeah, I would want to take it. I hope you get on board. Get on this thing. It's a freight train. 800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. 1 ounce bars are gone. I have some silver rounds, rolls of rounds here, $700. And then $20 gold pieces last day. $34.95, 10 or more, $34.75 at 800-951-0592. Gold's up 30, 33, 20. Silver's up 20. Well, they get 30 cents now, 33.25. Again, 800-951-0592. And then, of course, text it. You're down to, listen, on Monday, they're going to have specials. It's just not going to be as good. This thing is coming. Digital is here, and it's coming. They need these stable coins to help buy debt, right? They got to get rid of banks. They're going away. They're absolutely going away. And it's now just a matter of, are we going to be left behind or are we going to capitalize, right? Bitcoin, it's already did its thing, right? Is Bitcoin going to go higher? Probably. I think it will. But the realities are, this is like, I don't know, Bitcoin at $100, something like that, early on. You know, this wasn't Bitcoin at 0.2 cents, but this thing is extremely early. We're still in the early stages of layer 1. The problem is it goes fast. Right? We're 7-8 months away from layer 2. Probably, they're talking 3 months or so away from being on Coinbase, being on Kraken. They went from, you know what, by early part of next week, we're going to be over 6,000 miners. We just doubled the amount of miners in like a month. Right. Are we going to be at 12,000 miners next month, right? Jason, this is what we're talking about.
I would suggest coming in today. So if you're in Colorado, you can call me or you can come by the radio station and sign up. Tomorrow for me is super busy. Right, Joe? Fridays are just hard. So really,
Fridays are tough.
Really, today's the best day. I've already been telling people in Colorado, if you want to get signed up with the incentives that are set up, call me, set up an appointment, come in today and get it done. Tomorrow, I just get super blasted busy. Joe in the office over there, we usually have one less person over there, right, Joe, on Friday. So probably your best bet is this is today, because we're not open on the weekend. We're not going to be signing up people on Saturday and Sunday, and June is Sunday. Sunday is June, right, Joe? June is Sunday.
Yep. So, and again, you can do it over the phone. You can come in. Same thing, Phoenix, you guys want to come in. We've got, I'll say this, we've got appointments pretty much all day today already, but we will get you in. 800-951-0592. Don't be left behind. You know what's coming. I've told you what's coming. You know what's coming. Now the question is, what are you going to do about it?